everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
What would scare my grandmother or piss off my grandfather?
Welcome to the final review of 2019 here on my channel, where we talk about a new movie that just came out in theaters. And let me tell you, I am glad that I saved the best for last. We're going to be talking about the Jay Roach-directed film Bombshell, starring Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, and John Lithgow. So, just in case you didn't know what this movie was about, it is about very recent current events. The story of how the women who are some of the most powerful voices in news, took down the head of Fox News, Roger Ailes, on sexual harassment charges. And in the powerful Me Too movement period that we were in right now, this was definitely one of the most important stories that needed to be shown. Now, I have already seen the version of this story told by Showtime's miniseries The Loudest Voice, which starred Russell Crowe as Roger Ailes, and it was told from Roger Ailes' perspective. But in Bombshell, we get the other side of the story. The famous faces of Fox News, including Gretchen Carlson and Megyn Kelly, and how they decided to come out from the shadows and not let their fears get the best of them and say something is wrong here in this news station, and it's at the very top. Roger Ailes has got to go. So I have to say that I was so excited to see this movie, because I'm not going to be ashamed to admit that I know all of these faces. I am a conservative person who also watches a lot of Fox News, so I was very excited to see some of these well-known names in current events and news really be brought to the forefront in film. And let me say, this movie was incredible. It's also nice to see that Jay Roach is the director of this film, because last year the Best Picture went to Green Book, which was directed by one of the Farrelly brothers, who directed a little film called There's Something About Mary. But Jay Roach is the person who directed the Austin Powers movie. So to go from an outrageously stupid comedy like Austin Powers to a very powerful film like Bombshell really got me excited. And man, did he do a great job. But it's not just him. Because a lot of people were saying, why are we getting a movie about something that is so new in the world of current events? Well, I think that it is important to talk about this specific thing, because it is something that is a very hot button topic, and to actually see it in a film is something that's going to raise awareness in regards to how women are treated in the workplace. But I think that the reason why this movie is so great is just the acting. Every person that they got in this movie to play all of these famous faces at Fox News, they all, whether they were main characters, supporting characters, or even just had a couple of lines, every single one of these people just disappeared into their roles. It got to the point where I really thought that some of these anchors were just playing themselves. Nicole Kidman as Gretchen Carlson did a phenomenal job. I also appreciated the fictional characters in this film who were played by Margot Robbie and Kate McKinnon from Saturday Night Live. I also have to say that even though she did bring some of the funnier lines to the movie, Kate McKinnon definitely showed me a little bit of her acting chops, and I'd like to see if she could play more dramas in the future. But we had to see it from a fictional's perspective, because we just wanted to see how an average Fox News employee who is female is trying to move up in the ranks, and what they might have in fact had to deal with. But the best part of this movie, without a doubt, is Charlize Theron as Megyn Kelly, because I really thought that this was really Megyn Kelly. The makeup job, the way she spoke, it was Megyn Kelly on screen. And if there is any actor from this film that could get nominated for Best Actress, it has to be Charlize Theron. But I also have to give a ton of props to John Lithgow playing Roger Ailes, because it is a very big risk to play a true villain in Hollywood, especially when the villain is someone who is real. But I have so much respect for John Lithgow, and I just thought that his work on this film was compelling and believable and absolutely amazing. Also, we had Malcolm McDowell as Rupert Murdoch. We had Alice Eve as Ainsley Earhart. We had Ashley Greene as Abby Huntsman. There were just so many famous names that I know, and I don't know who the actors were who played Geraldo Rivera, Sean Hannity, or Janine Pirro, but I absolutely thought that they were amazing because I watch these people on TV. I know their mannerisms, I know how they make eye contact, I know how they look, I know how they walk, talk, and I really thought that every single one of these actors were amazing. Not to mention the performance of Richard Kind as Rudy Giuliani. That was amazing. And also Stephen Root and Allison Janney are in this film. There really are some very famous faces in this movie, even if they are playing bit roles. But the story itself, especially considering the fact that this was written by the people who made The Big Short, I knew that it was going to be a blend of comedy and drama, and for a movie that is extremely heavy-hitting and important, it doesn't necessarily have to be graphic to get the message across, and even though there were some very uncomforting moments, because look, Roger Ailes was an ass. He did some really bad things to these women, and I really feel that the way that this movie was created and given to the public was probably one of the best ways to do it, especially since they're trying to get a mainstream audience. If there's anything negative that I have to say about this movie, it's probably the storyline that takes place with Margot Robbie's character, just because of the fact that even though it was fictional and I understand its need to be there, to me I just felt that it took a little bit away from the story just because I was really more interested in the actual events that took place. But the fact that her character is here in this movie for fictional purposes to prove the point of what this movie was trying to tell, it's admirable and I understand it. It just wasn't something that I liked, but that's not going to take away from my overall feelings about this movie. It was so good. It was such a great watch. It flew by because it's over 2 hours. It really is one of the best watches and experiences that I had, and I really feel that it is going to really do something for the people who are trying to fight for the rights of women in the workplace. I really believe that, and I definitely want to see this movie again. I'm planning to own this movie on DVD. I'd love to see this movie get some Oscar buzz because I really feel that it's deserving for the acting, for the script. It really was an incredible watch. Go see Bombshell. You will be satisfied. I'm giving Bombshell 4 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Bombshell. And I will see you in the season finale of Up From the Underground. Take care.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.